All right, everybody, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, meaning that it's time to talk about the recent front office decisions. Every week, we take a few minutes to talk about the players that the Seahawks chose to keep or chose to bring in and see how they're doing for us to get an idea of whether or not we made good decisions. And as I always say, with every decision you make to get a player or keep a player, it's not just that decision. You're also making a decision to not keep or not get other players who maybe could have done that same role better. So it's definitely an area where you have to not only take into account what you're getting, but what you're not getting because of the players you didn't get. So let's start with our free agent re-signings from this most recent offseason. Chris Carson did not have his best game against the Titans overall. He had, I think, a total of 31 yards from scrimmage or something like that. It might have not even been 30. He touched the ball not too often, and he was not effective when he got it for the most part, and he was not involved in the passing game whatsoever, which is something that I really didn't like seeing. Now, I'm inclined to believe that Carson is doing what he can in these situations, and if the holes aren't there, then the holes aren't there. And if the run blocking isn't there, then the run blocking isn't there. But nevertheless, after 2 games, he's at 148 yards from scrimmage. He did get 2 touchdowns, so give him a little bit of love for that. And his PFF grade remains quite good, 67.7. So Carson, through 2 games, is still playing fairly well overall. I don't have any issue with the way he's playing for the most part. I It was just not a very good game against the Titans. Now, Alex Collins, the other running back we chose to re-sign this offseason, finally got on the field, got the ball in his hands once, and he did some damage, a 25-yard pickup. It made me wonder why he didn't touch the ball again. It was a big play on our best drive of the game, right before the half. So I like to see that. Now, his PFF grade means nothing because he played 6 snaps total, but 65 is fine. Posick did not play because he was injured, so he's not going to be any different than he was last week. Let's go to the defense. Okay, Poona Ford played a lot against the Titans, and he did actually register some numbers. So after 2 games, he's got 5 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. I think he had one on Derrick Henry. He's also hit the quarterback twice, so he's starting to make some plays, and coming out of that Titans game, PFF actually really liked him. Remember, his PFF grade last week was pathetic. Now it's 67.4. That's quite good. And it also indicates that he was graded very well for what he did against the Titans. So credit to Poona. I know we didn't stop the run well by the end of that game, but I don't think that was a Poona problem. I think that Poona did his thing. Carlos Dunlap. I already talked about this yesterday, but I did not bring Carlos Dunlap back to this team for him to play, I think it was 26 snaps out of 88. I don't know about you guys, but if I had to say which of our current pass rushers is the best at rushing the passer, it's Dunlap. And I'm looking at a game like yesterday where we didn't really get that much pressure on Tannehill, and I'm looking at Dunlap not playing very much. He played 26 snaps out of 88, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, is he injured? Is he old? Is he washed up? Is he angry at somebody? Did he piss somebody off? What's going on here? And I would really like to know the answer here because 66 snaps through 2 games out of over 160 snaps is completely not okay. And if you're being straight honest, he's not doing a ton with those snaps. He's not recorded any stats, but he does have a sack on a 2-point conversion. And I do believe he recorded some pressures against the Titans, so why is he not getting on the field? Even if he wasn't playing well so far, he's been playing well in the NFL for over a decade. You can't just throw in the towel on him after a game, not even 2 games. PFF still likes him, but we didn't sign him for good PFF efficiency numbers. We signed him to play a lot of snaps, so yeah, please tell me what's going on there, especially when he's losing snaps to guys like Benson Mayowa, who is okay, but he should not be playing more snaps than Dunlap. Mayowa's got almost 90 snaps through 2 games, which is too many. He does have some decent production. He has 5 tackles total, 2 TFLs, and 1 sack, which were both in week 1. And his PFF grade actually jumped up this week to 64.5. So it's not that Mayo was playing badly or anything. I'm not saying that, but I didn't bring back Dunlap to lose snaps to Benson Mayowa. So either tell us that something's wrong with Dunlap or get him out on the field. Yeesh. All right, so those are the free agent re-signings. Let's take a look at some free agent signings and trades. Everett was pretty much invisible. He had 1 catch for 3 yards against the Titans, so he has 3 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown on the season. He was targeted 1 time on an incomplete pass, so his catch percentage is now 75%. PFF likes him a lot less after that game, of course, because he just didn't have an impact in the passing game. His PFF grade after 2 games is 60.4. Gabe Jackson played all the snaps, and he still has not allowed a sack. Now, I've seen some things that indicate he's giving up some pressures. Some people were saying that he gave up a lot of pressures against the Colts, which is understandable because he's going up against DeForest Buckner. I don't know if he gave up a lot of pressures against the Titans, but some people are saying that he did. If he did, that's a little less okay. So PFF still thinks he's fine. 63.1 is a decent enough grade, but it's becoming a little clear that while Gabe Jackson is a good player and worth the 5th-round pick, he's not worth much more than that 5th-round pick. So he's stable, he's solid, he's effective, he does his job. He did pick up a cheap penalty on Sunday, but I'm not terribly mad about that one compared to the other ones. But yeah, seems like he's playing okay, not great. Okay, defense now, we're going to Al Woods. He played a lot of snaps against the Titans. He's up to 87 on the season, and he balled out. He balled out against those Titans. He did all he could. He had 7 tackles to give him 8 on the season. He had a sack, and that's not Al Woods' game at all. He should not be getting sacks. Honestly, on a defensive line that is supposed to be this good, it's kind of sad that Al Woods is the guy who's getting a sack. I mean, come on, guys. Don't let Al Woods beat you to the quarterback. And he's got the 1 tackle for loss. So great game for Al Woods. His PFF grade's all the way up to 73.4. So big love to Al Woods right now. He played an awesome game. Kerry Hyder also played a pretty effective game. He's got 92 snaps on the season after playing all those snaps on Sunday. 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 hits on the quarterback total. So he's doing it all. He's playing the run well. He's playing the pass well. I think Kerry Hyder's doing quite well. 68.2 PFF grade also speaks to his effectiveness. Good stuff there. Blessuan Austin and Sidney Jones have not yet played. Just to spend a minute on this, some people believe that Carroll made some comments yesterday that indicate that Sidney Jones is going to get on the field for Trey Flowers. So watch for that. I don't think Trey Flowers has played that badly so far this season. I don't think he was a problem against the Titans, really. But he did give up some big plays. And if you can get somebody out there who is better than Trey Flowers, great. I know you can do better than Trey Flowers because he's not good. He's fine. He's okay. But I'm definitely excited to see what Sidney Jones can do. So we may see him out there against the Vikings. Draft picks, nothing. Dwayne Eskridge injured, did not play. None of the rookies played. None of the rookies played at all. Nothing from them this week. Too bad, so sad. So that just leaves us to go through our significant departures. And we have Shaq Griffin, who played basically every snap for the Jacksonville defense again. He had, I think, like 4 tackles. He's got 9 on the season now, or 5 tackles. 2 pass deflections, so he's had a pass deflection in each game. I know he's allowed, I think, 7 receptions in coverage so far, and his PFF grade is 60.6. So he's playing okay. And I'm sorry, guys, not worth the $45 million. I know some people in recent days have been saying, oh, look at how bad Trey Flowers is. We should have kept Shaq Griffin. Shaq Griffin's not that good. He's good, but he's not worth that money. Sorry. You gotta do better for me if you're gonna make that much money. So Shaq Griffin playing okay. Who's not playing okay, it seems like, is Jerron Reed. He's been on the field for almost 100 snaps, has 3 tackles and 1 hit on the QB. No sacks, not doing a whole lot in the pressure department, just 3 tackles and 1 quarterback hit. His PFF grade is basically replacement level, 52.2. KJ Wright, for Vegas, however, is continuing to play spot duty and play it fairly well. He's now up to 59 snaps. He played like 28, I think, against the Steelers. Had 2 tackles to bring him to 4 overall, including 1 tackle for loss. PFF grade is now 68.3. And I actually just remembered this very second that there was another guy we lost to Jacksonville this offseason who I did not list here, Carlos Hyde. And I know he actually was fairly productive for the Jaguars in their first game, and I think the second game as well. I promise I'll add him next week. But Carlos Hyde, I don't think anybody in the Seahawks fan base really wanted Carlos Hyde back and was super depressed when we lost him. So, that's a little bit of a different thing. That's just a replacement level player. But anyway, that's my evaluation of the front office moves as of game number 2. I think we are probably doing pretty well in terms of the way the individual players are playing. The glaring issue for me is at center, because bringing back Posick meant you couldn't bring in other guys, and not bringing in other guys leaves us right now with Kyle effing Fuller. I also want to know what's going on with Dunlap and him not playing very much, but I know he's a good player, and honestly, on the snaps he is getting, he seems to be playing fine. So it's not all perfect, but there's a lot of stuff to like here, and it seems to me the front office, with their choices they made this offseason outside of the center kerfluffle, have done pretty well. But that center thing can derail the whole season, so we're going to spend more time on that in the future. But for now, I'm out. Go Hawks. See you guys later today.